Alright, so one night I turned what could have just been another speeding ticket into a deeper sense of trouble. Have you ever been in trouble with law enforcement? Do you remember the emotions you felt or the thoughts going through your head about what was going to happen next? This actually happened to me not so long ago, about a year ago when I was around the age of 19. I was in the car alone, following a buddy and some friends of his were in the car. And we were driving to a car meet. It was after sunset down a rural street in our town that we kind of drive down all the time. This story does not actually end as bad as it started. I actually learned a great lesson, had a rude awakening I definitely needed. Definitely could have been a potential really big mess up in my life at a pretty young age. And I was definitely grateful for the second chance that I was given and the lesson I learned. This drive I thought was just another drive taken down our town to go to a car meet I'd gone to all the time. However, this was definitely not the case when I started to speed to try and catch up to my friend, and I saw a cop whip a U-turn, flip his lights on, and this split second in my head I made this decision to take a sharp turn down a dark street and try and just dip away, avoid the cop altogether. Obviously this split second plan definitely did not work out, as he found me and pulled up on me and started yelling at me to get out of the car. He had several cars pull up to the scene, as well as my parents, and luckily they were able to take the car home. It was gonna have to be towed. And so I was arrested on scene. They cuffed me, put me in the car, and took me to Wilson County Jail in Lebanon. Really rough 30-minute drive. So we pull up to the garage door, and they do me and check me into the booking process. They made me take everything off, everything out of my pockets, all my jewelry off, and even my shoes and my hoodie. It was freezing cold in there. So they put me in the cell with about 3 or 4 other guys in the cell block with me, and I actually had to wait like 3-4 hours till late in the evening to call for bail and get hold of my parents. They were actually gonna let me stay in probably a week or so until my bailing hearing, just because they were really upset and wanted me to learn my lesson. Ended up not staying that long. I had a really important meeting that week that I needed to go to, so they bailed me out that next morning by 11 a.m. So next thing I had to do was get a lawyer and get ready for court. That ended up being several months later. We were around COVID time. So courts really backed up, so it took a lot longer than expected. So after months and months of waiting, preparing for my lawyer, talking to him, figuring out what we were gonna do, my arresting officer actually put in a word for me with the judge as well to try and help me out, because his brother had an incident about the same scenario, so he understood, had a little understanding. The help of him, my lawyer, and just the leniency of the judge, he read everything and he took pity on me that that day and dropped all the charges on me. No court costs, no fees I had to pay, and my heart sank really hard, as I was just astonished that came out of his mouth. That he basically just gave me my second and only chance. So I was really blessed and filled with joy that day, walking out of the courtroom to tell Mom I was cleared of all charges, and they dropped everything, and I got this huge second chance at the end of everything, and I learned this split-second decision could have ruined everything.